this lovely Wednesday morning right here on Culture Daily. And the video you just watched right now, of course, is the feature with Stonebwoy, with Davido, of which is also on the Fifth Dimension album. Earlier on, we played the original version of Therapy as well to you. Now, the remix has got Oxlade and Tiwa Savage on there. Now, this morning, we're doing a quick album review, of course. If you've had a chance to listen to the album as well, Fifth Dimension, well, today we're going to have a conversation with you as well. If you haven't, do well to go stream the music on all digital platforms. 17 songs. We've already been honored to have the man Stonebwoy join us live in the studio before to talk about the album. Before the listening session, of course, Cyril was there. Now this morning, we want to dive into it and talk about a few technicalities with regards to the album since its release on the 28th of April. I don't know if you could get highlights of what happened at the album. At the listening session, I beg your pardon. No, not the listening session. I mean the album party that happened at the Polo Beach grounds a couple of days ago. Even before we jump into it, I don't know. See what you were there. How was the attendance? How was the party? I saw vibes on it on social media.
Attendance was good. Vibes, energy, everything was good. Setup. I mean, it was really cool to see that the albums. Pre and post event space still drew that amount of industry, big wigs, fans, core members of the industry that help amplify these conversations. So it was definitely a success by my regard. I mean, we were there for a while before it actually got running, but it was successful. And I think that the biggest highlight for me was the fact that the community were willing to actually engage with the new music. So there were some songs that were pre-released, some singles that we've heard, but the reception of everything that was on the album was massive. You kind of anticipate that when people are listening to new music, they sit down quietly and just ponder on it for a while. But it was as if they'd been listening to the album somewhere for weeks ahead. Each track brought that response, and you could tell that people really loved the content.
Let's play the devil's advocate here, and I'll be asking you guys later on about parts of the album or things about the album that didn't augur well with you, or in your personal wish list. What you think, what you wish it could have been. Not to say that what it is not good. I'm saying that what you think it could have been. I'm just asking for the other side of the conversation, but we'll get there into it. Before that, let's set the ground rules for the conversation. Olele, if you might want to take us through that.
All right, so we are gonna be very objective about the album, and that's why we decided to put together these parameters, not just for us but for our viewers and listeners who are doing the watching and the listening, to help us ascertain the overall rating for the album. So first of all, we are looking at how many times you've listened to the album. Now it's believed, or it's part of album, shall I say, listening culture, that at least you should listen to the album 3 times. At least, it's not like playing the album 1, 2, 3, but in different times in different areas to at least get.
I mean, that's how to listen to albums. You must give yourself a chance to retake, re-listen, replay various moods, places to get a feel of it. Because in the beginning, you might do the skip, or pass quick judgments if you don't find. But songs grow on you, so that much I agree with you.
Yeah. So we are going to be looking at how many times we have listened to the whole album. We are going to look at the album genre. We're going to look at the tone of the album. Was it just vibes? Was there a message, or were there messages? Or you would say it's an album that had a lot of experiments. Okay, and we're going to look at the production quality of the album. We're going to look at the credits, so the people who contributed to the overall success or production of the album. We are also going to look.
I like the way I like the way they put up,
Yeah. So so we're going to do all of that. We're going to look at the first listening stage, the features, the message by each song, the label support and marketing, fun reviews. Then, after everything is said and done, we'll come and look at the letter grades or numerical scores. That is like rating the album over 10. And over here, according to programming, 1 to 3 is average, 4 to 6 is good, 7 to 9 is great, and 10 is excellent.
All right, we'll put that again. We'll break that again so that people can remember. But we'll put that grading on social media so that you can also tweet at us on our Twitter handles real quickly, and let us hear from you as well in grading the Stonebwoy Fifth Dimension album, classic album if you ask me, by all standards. I can't wait to get to the conversation on the production, because it's as if whoever did the mixing on that album like spent a year trying to get the best out of it. Hands down, I don't know whether it's my speakers in my car too as well, but it's great. Now, you the fans out there also have a chance to be part of this conversation. We'll put out a Zoom link, and later on you can also join in the conversation. Still to come, we'll be talking to Master Garzy, who also played a role on the album, and he'll share his experience in the production of this great Fifth Dimension album by Stonebwoy. And as Olele has already put it, we'll run through various parts of this conversation. We'll be kicking off with our song credits, because it's very important to find the contributors to this album. That is the only way you can appreciate the work that has gone in there. I think when Stonebwoy was here as well, did he mention how much money he put in per song, or that was
no, he was just giving an example. If you're working with J5, it's about 25 racks up.
Yeah.
For the full song.
Charlie, now the thing has become business.
Hey, you can't just it's not just about relaxing or somebody send me beat, I'ma send them back.
Yeah.
It's really about the whole process now. People understand that the phonics need to be right, the mix needs to be right, and even the producer understanding the type of artist that he's working with that's like an intellectual property that you can't put a bill on. It's like Jules was mentioning to us when he was here, that when he makes a beat, 50% into making the beat, he knows who he's hearing
on there already. Yeah.
And that's some intuition that you can't really pay for. So now if a Jules beat costs X amount, you can't complain that it's just a beat, because he created it with knowing that it would be successful for Jay Foley.
Customized.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure he had a lot of that. Stonebwoy had a lot of that interaction.
Before we get into it, Apple Music did a write-up, right, which I'd want us to have a look at. So it's on Apple Music. So I'm just going to read.
With regards to Stonebwoy's
the Fifth Dimension.
Okay,
it's a write-up on the Fifth Dimension.
Okay,
so
all right.
It says, with his fifth studio album, Ghanaian dancehall superstar Stonebwoy reveals an unwillingness to slow down. There's no other name that could describe my fifth studio album, he tells Apple Music. In the space that I find myself, I want to continue to contribute to my culture and my time and my generation. The Fifth Dimension goes beyond the physical. It goes into the astral. It goes into the spiritual. It deals with all aspects of emotions and thoughts. This is vibration. This is levels, emotions. This is waves. Stonebwoy has consistently shown he has no fear when it comes to diversifying his sound, a trait that's ever present across the album's 17 tracks. He even ventures into Amapiano territory alongside South African superstar DJ Maphorisa on Apotheke, displaying as much passion as he does on his signature dancehall meets Afrobeat records. Below, he breaks down key tracks from Fifth Dimension. And so they go ahead to then break down, I think, 11 out of the 17 tracks. They did a breakdown.
Keep that page on, because we needed that as well. But guys, your album, Nana.
But I think this is what happens when the work is really good.
Look, it's hard to review a Rolls Royce. You just tell people it's a Rolls Royce.
Good, right? Give me five.
If it's some Chima there, you now have to say the rims are this and the tape is this. When somebody tells you that they are buying you a Rolls Royce, you just say thank you. You don't ask which one. When somebody says they are buying you some other kind, so which model? Is it the 1.6? Shall I get me let down? I want this. And by this time.
You're asking too many questions.
Okay, so
let me see if I can.
we are kicking off our review, but we'll be talking to Master Garzy. I have to always pronounce the name, take my time to mention.
Before you kill us. Garzy.
Mix.
Well.
Master Garzy.
So,
but let's jump into song credits. Contributors to the album. Who played what? Who did what? Song by song. We'll pick some selected songs, and then we can run through it, especially the ones with the features first, if possible. Yeah.
So obviously the primary artist here will be Stonebwoy. But there is Stonebwoy and DJ Maforisa as primary artists here.
That jam too was very classic. That song builds on you. When I started listening to the song, the very first, say about 10 seconds, I said, no, I don't like it. And then after like, say about 40 seconds into the song,
it switches, you, right? Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wait, it's a jam.
Spiritual.
It's a jam, man.
So the featured artist,
You're trying for me. You're trying for yourself.
The featured artists on there, we have Angelique Kidjo, we have Davido, we have Dexter Dubs, we have Jazz Karis, we have Mereba, we have Oxlade, we have Shaggy, Stormzy, and Tiwa Savage. Now, when we go to the producers, as you were seeing on your screen, we have AI Cress, Al Cress, and there be AI Cress. Then we have Daramola. Then you have DJ Breezy. You have DJ Maforisa. No, not this one. There's the other one.
Yeah, I was getting confused with the names you mentioned. I felt like you're giving me a fake list. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, so we have
producers.
Yeah, so we have okay, I am reading mine from Genius, but on the screen, okay, so yeah, okay, good, thank you. So we have AI Crest, we have Darabola, we have DJ Breeze, we have DJ Maforisa, you have the Fanatics.
In fact, let me hold you right there. I was very, very excited to see DJ Breezy produce that song.
Into the future.
Was it?
Into the future. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Fanatics, Gideon Knight, Guilty Beat is on there. Easy Beat is on there. J5 Jugglers, Master Garzy, and Mix Master Garzy. Okay. I don't know if they are two separate entities, but MOG Beats is there. Praise is on there. Raymond Jinton is there. Streets Beats and Super Dubs. Super Dubs has produced for Rihanna, Kanye, and a number of Grammy awards.
Just to mention a few.
Well, since we mentioned Gazi's name, Garzy is live on the line with us. We want to switch over to him and have a convo with him on Zoom. Let me get my headset.
Jay, you don't have to mention a few, eh?
Pardon?
No, let's go on. Mix Master Garzy.
No, we'll come back to the list.
Yes.
Because Garzy is
absolutely.
On the line. He has somewhere to run off to, so we just caught him halfway when he was taking a shower. So he's in the shower. Mix Master Garzy.
One Garzy.
Yes, sir.
And I mean,
one Garzy.
And I keep them saying, minty. You didn't hear me?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Well, I'm struggling to hear Garzy. Can you guys hear him?
I can hear him in
So there's a delay in our headphones.
Well,
I think Kobe should reroute this thing. There's a delay. We are getting the TV
Garzy,
sound, not the...
Charlie Halby.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
Yeah, great. Okay, it's a bit low on my side, but listen, we'll still make it happen once the fans can hear you there. Garzy, tell us about your involvement on the Fifth Dimension album. How did this link up happen? Is it that you had shared some stuff with him, or he reached out to you? Want to understand the story behind it, and which particular song you produced or songs you produced?
Well, Stonebwoy has been, a brother, from way back. We started from a shaman to if you can remember Club, one of the major hit songs for Stonebwoy, that's where we all started from, So Stonebwoy has been a great artist that I've been working with. And, this album is something that he has already been putting energy, like he really put energy in the work. And then he said, no, this album needs to go to places. And then, collaboration with, top producers from all over the world, this time around, it was all over the world, man. Producers from different angles, we all team up and then we make this thing happen. I produced Activate by Stonebwoy featuring Davido, and then also Manodzi featuring Angelique Kidjo. Like, that lady was crazy, man. She said, heard the song and said, "Oh, Stone, this is something that we can do." And do you know some story behind this song? This song was done is it 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah, because we have records. Stonebwoy is really working. Stonebwoy can drop let's say 20 albums now. He has songs, you understand? So we keep working. So some of the songs were selected from, songs that was recorded 5-6 years ago. Trust me. So it's been great, working with Stonebwoy, and I did that 2 songs on it. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So there's a delay in there. So pardon if I'm quiet whilst you were talking. There's a delay in the conversation. It gets to me 10 seconds later. But so how many songs did you produce on the album?
I produced 2 songs. The track 11 and 17. Manodzi
Garzy,
and
we'll try and
Apotheke.
fix this delay. I beg your pardon. It's just a bit of a challenge for us in here. We'll just try and get the delay sorted out, and then we can come back to you on there. Please pardon us, but please stay on the line with us while we get this sorted. So, guys, Garzy is talking about his, his involvement in that. He said stated that if Stonebwoy wanted to release 20 albums,
That's a lot.
That is a lot of songs.
I mean, as an international artist, I mean, you need to be ready for something. So I understand that he's
An international artist living in Ghana.
living in Ghana. I mean,
I think this rubs off as one of the traits of good artists, that they always have a catalog of music lying down.
Yes,
but the question is, the challenge has always been selecting which songs should make it. Yeah. I think we should have asked Stonebwoy when he came about the input of, he's on Def Jam or Investor. Def Jam. On the input of Def Jam in selection of the album songs, because sometimes you just might have the label recommend certain songs because they're looking at their marketability. The album works.
No, he did speak about it. He spoke about it. He mentioned that he's creative lead on it, and most of the time that there's a song that he has faith in, he presents it. And then most of the time, there's no pushback. But of course, based on the business plan that they might have for the album, things need to align. So he's also flexible in that regard. But it's not as strict as, the stigma is for record labels, where you'd send an album and they'd be like, "Nah, cut 5 tracks. Go and do this." Not like back in the day, how we perceive it. So he said there's a pretty flexible agreement. I think that's even what led us into his conversation about doing everything a lot himself, including styling himself and all that. So he's actually creative lead on it. Once there's a theme for the album, I think he creates and everybody selects, and he's part of that selection process as well. So. Yeah.
Well, so yes, Mix Master Garzy, we're having a conversation with him there, but we'll try and get that sorted out. Also, we have MOG Beats on there, Praise is on there, Raymond Glynn, Jinton, I beg your pardon, and then Street Beats and Super Dubs, all on there as producers. Looking at the number of persons on the production list, it clearly tells you that he really went all out to try and get a variety of persons. But what even amazes me is, which we'll get into that conversation later on, is the direction and the sound that they all gave him. That's why I was actually asking Garzy whether it was him sending a beat over or Stonebwoy selecting from a catalog of music beats that or he sang a song.
It might even be, I was just going to say, Stonebwoy is very melodic. So you know what he did on what's the Pray? That's if you've never been, I've had the honor to be in studio with Stonebwoy before. Stonebwoy is very melodic. You can come in and the beat is playing and it will be gibberish, it doesn't come, but then just vibing to get a sound, freestyling. He's a freestyle guy. So that kind of energy is what the producers feed off.
Garzy said he's been working with him for the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That so by now he and Garzy have that chemistry,
telepathic.
Yes, exactly. When Stonebwoy starts doing his thing,
he knows what to
and
put
starts
in
melodies and starts freestyling. Garzy sees the vision. He connects.
Potential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For a new producer, it might be okay. Let's do 1 or 2 tracks till he gets it.
Yeah.
But it's like D Black said with the producer Breezy and Joey B. The chemistry became locked in. Once Joey starts on vibe, you knew what to do. So
I think that works with artists when they have producers that they work with over time, right? Rather than switching up your producers and all of that.
Again, to my point, if anybody will save us, it's the producer.
Yeah, I think it works better that way, right? Then they get to know you for real, and are able to give you even beats that you can also sing on. But
interestingly, still on what Lenny is saying, interestingly, people were wishing Beats That K, were around at this point, because we the same chemistry we've seen with Garzy.
We've had that in the past.
Beats That K and then. Stonebwoy had that, and it gave us a lot of hits. So call it a tag team, call it a wonderful transition from the Stonebwoy we knew and the Stonebwoy we know now. Garzy did not do a lot of songs on the album. He just did like 2 songs, you know.
No, he mentioned Activate.
Yeah, Activate. Yeah, but I'm saying that one will wish that, okay, Garzy will do, because you see, once again, collaboration. One would think because Garzy has been with Stonebwoy for a very long time, he was supposed to have like
10 out of the 17 songs.
Yeah, but he just did 2 songs. You know, and they opened the pool up for other producers to bring in their stuff, and Stonebwoy had to ride on those stuff. You get me? So it also comes back to the fact that you have a producer you gel with does not necessarily mean that all the time you should allow the producer to determine your sound.
Your sound could get monotonous.
Your sound could get monotonous. And that is what we are not seeing on Stonebwoy's album. It's not from 1 to 17. It's not monotonous.
And monotonous sound makes for bad listening experience. I mean,
you become too predictable.
We wouldn't get into any other artist and all that. But I mean, there are people that it's like this beat again. You know.
Well,
you see the sharp look Jay gave
the question on monotony, for me, and please allow me to finish this statement before you cut it, because also it won't make sense. The question on monotony for me was the advantage Stonebwoy had on the album, because it shared direction, because I like the monotony. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. For me, when I listen to the album...
No, we are not saying the album is monotonous.
No, I'm saying for me,
okay,
it's monotonous. It has a certain...
No, I don't think the word you are looking for is monotonous.
No.
The word you are looking for is...
I'm not looking for your word. I'm looking for monotony. For me, there's a certain same element in the songs I hear coming out from Stonebwoy on this album.
Right.
It is the same for me. For
you.
And I liked it. I liked it because for me, it defined his uniqueness. That's why I said, let me finish saying before you. It's monotony I'm looking for. I kept on listening to songs over and over again. I played it. I come back. I played it. And I became, at a point in time, it was almost predictive for me, the real Stonebwoy. You understand? The Stonebwoy that I'm looking for. I found it in this album for me. And then I made a comparison to Stonebwoy of a few years ago, where I felt he was very, now you can help with the word, diverse. He was very
dynamic.
Played all kinds. But for this one, there was it was like it was intentional. You know, okay, we have Garzy back on the line. Let me see if we have our delay sorted out as well. Garzy, please say hello for me, and then let me make us say it will take 10 years before we catch my there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jay.
Okay, all right. So it's still a bit faint, but we'll make it happen. So you were talking about your involvement on this. If you can capture that again, that how did you play a role in this? Is it that you contacted Stonebwoy, or he reached out to you? Did he give you a particular sound he was looking for, or you shared a library of songs, beats with him, and he chose from? Share with us.
Yeah. So actually, it's directions. That's why the album title is like fifth dimensions. So, because we are looking at different directions, you understand? So, in your life, when you grow to a certain stage, you feel like, okay, this is the direction you want to go. So we sat down and it's like, okay, guys, this is where I'm going. And then, I have other couple of producers that I want us to work with. I said, okay, that is perfect. We need to make this sound international. So we got other producers. And that's what I'm saying. Stonebwoy has lots of songs that is there right now. We need to just listen to it and select the best ones out of it, because that is where we want to go to. So we need to select the ones that fit. When we want to go to reggae songs, we have catalogs that we can go. When we want to go to full dancehall song, we have catalogs that we want to go. So this time around, this is the direction like we picked up. Okay, this is where we are going to. So those are the songs that we selected, and then it fitted into where we want to go to. And then, collaboration with international producers and all the producers over the world has been great. And then, with this songs particular, we even have to master the songs in the UK with incredible music. Yeah, because we wanted a certain different sound based on what we wanted. So yeah, it's been great.
Well, okay. Still a bit of a struggle there, but I think I caught a bit of what you were saying. So, let me ask, how many songs did you produce? I think I asked earlier on, but I didn't catch that. How many songs did you produce on there?
I produced 2 songs. That's track 11, featuring the video, Activate, and the track 17, Manodzi.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask
I
you.
missed the first one. Which one did
He
you
said
Activate.
activate
11.
the
Activate.
Manodzi.
Okay,
11
okay, yeah,
Activate,
that's the
17
the other one.
I wanna
The last
ask
one.
Manodzi.
I want to
last
ask Gazi. Gazi, about the Manodzi record. I mean, fantastic, brilliant record. I think it's one of the most talked about records on the album. Talk to us about the process and talk to us about how the idea of putting Angelique Kidjo on that record and what you were really looking out for.
Yeah, so actually, that record has been I think we started recording that song like 5 years ago, which we were in the studio one night and then the idea came about. So we had a record down and then, we were contemplating who to put on. And you're looking at the direction of language-wise, where, Kidjo fitted in there. So they met and then Stonebwoy played a song to her. So, this is what I'm looking at. This is something more African, and this is something coming to my direction as well, with the live vibe, with the horns and everything. This is something that I'm also looking at. So immediately, and I think one of the fastest features so far, within that few days, vocals are in, and then we started working on the project. Arrangement was not easy because, we wanted to get the right arrangement of the song, because she did a lot on the song. So we need to even cut, chop, fix, add up to make sure that we have the right arrangement of the song. So the process was not really easy because we wanted to get the best. Yeah.
When you say the record was already done, do you mean that Stone had already put vocals on the record 5 years ago?
Stonebwoy had the idea. That's what I mean. Stonebwoy had the idea, created like a sample of what he wants to do before we put in the legend on. So that's what I'm saying. The idea was even recorded year back, like 4 or 5 years ago, and then it was just there trying to find the right. What Stonebwoy does is when he's in the mood and he gets an idea, he makes sure that he lays it down.
Okay.
It might not be the complete song, it might be only the chorus, or it might be the beginning of the verse. So he can lay that and put that down, and then later when we have to work on it, he adds whatever he has to put in. That's what he mostly do. So that song he has the idea which was created before we have to put Kidjo on it.
Okay, so if I'm getting you correctly, 5 years ago is quite a long time. So how did the polishing in terms of the mix and mastering of that sound? Because 5 years ago the technologies then were obviously different from now. So let's talk about the mix and mastering of that record, because you can't hear anything wrong with it.
Yeah, so this record, we have a lot of people on the record. Like when it comes to the production side, there's one of my youngies who's called Highlander Beat. He also started with the rhythm, which has the rhythm of the whole project. And then I need to bring in some of the live instruments, the live guys, like Peter as the guitarist, Roxanne as the drummer, and Jerry as the bassist, myself on the keys. So when we started getting an idea from the rhythm, which Highlander brought the rhythm, and then we have to now recreate everything live because we wanted to have that kind of live version sound because we wanted to go internationally. And then I mixed the song, and then we mastered the song in the UK with incredible music because we wanted to have the same level of songs because other producers also produce the song. So we allowed every producer to mix the song and then send the files to UK, to Incredible Music to master everything so that we can have that level of, production.
I see. Okay.
Were they, bro? Well done. First off, were there any mix standards that you guys had to adhere to? Because I realized that he had the UK listening at the Dolby Center and have I know what it takes to have the sound at that quality for the Dolby Center. Were there any standards that you had to meet to be able to have such an expo?
So those were some of the standards we are looking at because we wanted to get a particular standard of music where, when you play from track one, you don't hear any differences. This one will sound bassy than this one have more high than this. So we have to get that standard very well. So that's why we chose the Incredible Music because they have the necessary tools as I'm talking about. Because if you have to have the Dolby, it's a whole setup system, which I think in Ghana here, we are trying to also fix that. I'm working on it to have a studio that can give us that sound. So Incredible Music was a place that we felt that, okay, this people can let us get that standard. So yeah.
Okay. Well, did you work with them directly, or was it just that they were contracted to pick up the files and then execute the masters and send back?
Yeah, they were contracted, but then we were talking hand in hand with one of the managers and then with the producers, with the sound engineers to make sure that we have them. So at times we hear us, okay, we want this one to be like this, bring this one down, do this thing down before, we get everything leveled well, and then boom.
Okay, thank you. I'm cool.
Well, Garzy, great. As always, you know how you do it. You there. If anything you touch turns into gold, bro.
Right.
It's golden. Golden mix Master Garzy. All right, one last question for
Okay.
Talk to me about the creative direction with how you use the horns at the beginning, at the end. Was there some kind of
a false rapture horns not false rapture
because the horns because Jay, to be very honest, the last time we heard something very tangible like that was when Hammer used to do his kicks.
No.
Exactly, and his horns. And the last time I heard the horns being used,
gospel.
oh, me gospel that my shout out, So, guys, talk to us about the horns.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the science and the creative idea behind that?
Yeah, so the horns was not even part of the song when we finished. The horns was like later, so we were there. Stone called me like, yo, guys, like there's something, as we do, when we go back to Legbagbe, we had something like that, like let's put in that vibe, because anytime he listens to the song, he hears something, like, okay, give me some seconds. So I think I was in US then. So I said, okay, give me some seconds. So I went to a studio and I started playing around, and I called one of the live guys and I said, okay, Chan, we need something like sound horns. So give me ideas on how it has to be. And I said, okay, let's do it like that. So I created it and I sent it back to Stonebwoy. I said, like, yo. So that is Stonebwoy tweeted like, yo, guys, this horns be bad.
Oh,
so,
I see.
It was later idea that we added to it because we want to have that vibe, because already we had the song to be like a live song, because we have to reproduce everything live with the bass, live guitar and everything. So getting that to it, basically it's Stonebwoy's idea. Like, he called me and told me about it, like, yo, guys, I know what you can do. Let's get it done. And then it was done.
Brilliant. Congratulations. Super.
Mix Master Garzy. And they come for my album.
Yes, boss.
Go produce my album. Charlie, thank you very much, my brother. Yeah, as always, it's good to have you, and great contribution to the album as well. Looking forward for more projects from you, bro. Take care then.
Bless up.
All right, so that is Garzy giving us insights into his involvement in the production of the album. And great question, I must say, the last one on the horns, because it's a good what you call it. You made observation. I don't know. It's school.
Motown.
Oh Lord, our helping ages. Great observation there. You understand?
Hello.
Meanwhile, I'm a class A.
The world is not coming. You are what?
Class A. Well, so that is Garzy giving us insights into it. But let's move on now. Let's talk about the album genre itself. What did you get out of this, guys?
Afrofusion.
Genre-wise?
Afrofusion.
Yeah.
Just you just sealed it. That's all. Envelope. I like that. Afrofusion. Why Afrofusion? What do you get out of it? Why do you define? What do you define as Afrofusion, and why does this album fall under that category?
Well, many have argued that Afrofusion and Afrobeats have the same definition, because Afrobeats is obviously, a cocktail of foreign sounds in addition to the West African rhythm, right? But Afrofusion for me is when you are able to use more of the West African rhythm that supersedes the influence of Western influence, and that's what Stonebwoy did with all the records he did, or he put out on the 17-track album. So simply put,
great explanation. I was going to fight you. That's why I was you to entitle to fight you. But you just simply
put,
nicely. I like that.
There was an intentional channeling of West African rhythms, used that superseded the use of Western influence as well. So straight up,
this is why I said the monotony was the beauty.
No, but you see the monotony, I wasn't too sure, because she was even asking the same thing. When you say the monotony, are you talking about the production?
No, the same.
The same.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
like
arguable, but
but that's
all of the songs.
Yeah, I like it. When I listen to it, I know I'm listening to a Stonebwoy. as the Stonebwoy that I think I've known for a very long time. That's for me.
So are you saying that if a new listener listens to the album, they won't hear something different from what he released in Alonga Junction?
That's the person's headache. The person's headache now. Listen now. Lenny, what about you?
So for the album, I think is great, right? Great is also understating it at the same time, but I think that Stonebwoy did a thing on this one, right? And there's no way that it's not going to get wherever it wants to get to. But again, for the genre, I would refer to it also as Afrofusion because we hear the different parts, of Stonebwoy in there. It has amapiano, it has, dancehall, it has what we'll probably call Afrobeat as well in there. So it's not a particular genre for me. It has all of that because amapiano, we can look at the Apotheke as well. And then also African System, I think, is more like a dancehall thing because it's looking at certain things, certain societal problems in there as well. So that to me will be a straight dancehall. Then we can look at Activate, we can look at the Therapy as Afrobeat, as well as More of You, maybe as that as well. So I think it's just a nice mixture. So yeah, we can just still push it in that Afrofusion space.
Yeah, Cyril, I'm just
Why you're giving me eyes before dagger eyes? What did I do? No, everybody's right. I think it's an Afrofusion album. It's not exactly like you said. It's not your typical Stonebwoy you were expecting of the old projects. He takes himself very seriously creatively. He shows us his roots. We hear a little dancehall raga there.
So I like what you were saying, and that's what explains my monotony. Was the fact that if you take a pull-up, Stonebwoy pull-up. If you take a Stonebwoy,
Not again.
Say My Name.
Okay.
Is it Call My Name or Say My Name?
No.
Call My Name. Call My Name.
Yeah.
Stonebwoy expresses himself in various, he can do so many different kinds of rhythms. But on this particular album, I think he gets a certain
I think what you're saying
agenda.
is,
And that's what I like because it will bring us to that. Even though we're not there yet, to bring us to that point on talking about the message of the album.
yes. So the theme and the love it.
But you know that when you're talking
listen,
about something
listen.
expensive, you have to
I'm
take
not
your time
talking-
and
Listen, the theme and the creative direction for the album didn't just translate out of the name and the branding and the photo shoot and all those things we saw and we loved. The fifth dimension extends the sound as well. The fifth dimension is that dimension of the person, of the style, of the sounds, of the genres, all that. Because you have the likes of Davido, Stormzy, who are very contemporary, modern, and then you have Angelique Kidjo, and then you have Shaggy, which some would say is an OG. So it's literally tapping into the present, the past, and hopefully showing us a future direction of Stonebwoy's capabilities.
And the legendary.
Yeah, and the legendary. And I get your monotonous, consistent, whatever. I would use another word. But I get what you're saying about it. When you're listening to it, it all kind of melts together and you know what you are expecting. And he delivers on each one. So definitely, and it's typical for a fusion album. A fusion album, you set the base. If it's a rap fusion, everything is hip-hop, but you have other elements on it. So as an Afro fusion, the beats, that's what he did that was great with the beats. All the productions have that African feel that gives you that undertone of the Afro fusion. And then you have the likes of a Stormzy.
Yep.
You have the likes of a Davido. You have the likes of a Shaggy. And then,
Dexter
of course,
Dobbs.
Angelique Kidjo. If you put those four names on the board, nobody would really think they'd be on the same album. Shaggy, Stormzy, Davido,
Dexter Dobbs.
Angelique Kidjo. If you put it on the list,
And that's
And even
why I like
DJ
it.
Mafoisa. I think we are
with all
forgetting
these-
DJ
DJ
Mafoisa.
Mafoisa,
All
exactly.
people who have
So-
they present various genres.
Genres, yes.
That's
And
that
he was
able
so
to bring them.
That's yeah. So he
all
was.
to-
That's what.
I like-
That's why I was
I like
using.
that- I like
that's
that
what I'm saying. That
Stonebwoy.
so because
Very
he had that
powerful.
consistency and he knew the creative direction. It didn't matter who he was featuring. He still managed to guide it back to the same sound. That gets to your point.
Cyril, that's one thing I like about Stonebwoy. Stonebwoy featuring this Western artist, this lady, is it Carrie Hilson? It's
He brought her to Ghana.
He brought her to
didn't
Ghana.
Go to America.
He didn't go to America.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's able to control the tone of the music.
Authenticity.
Yes, onto for what he wants.
That's what I was describing earlier.
So
on,
when
like,
I heard him on the Angelique Kidjo one, and he started singing first, then Angelique Kidjo came in with her. Oh my God, that woman is a powerful woman. I'm telling you, her voice clarity,
Goosebumps, bro.
Charlie.
And the fact that they sang in Ewe throughout, stands out.
So then I was like, look, Stonebwoy in a way has created a certain look. It's like, Angelique, I know you are a legend. Please, I need your weight on my music like this. I need your weight.
He does
on
that.
my
He
music
does that from, like I was saying, from the
Exactly.
producer's onset. He's not just going to send me some beats. There's moments for that. There's tracks for that.
Yeah.
But ideally, I'm sure when he's working on something like his 5th album, he's going to be down to the bare molecules with the producer. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. So by the time he makes it to Angelique Kidjo, Stonebwoy's DNA is already so much in the production and in the direction, like Mixmaster was saying, that this is a song they've had since 2017. They've been going back and forth on it, refining, sandpapering it, polishing it, lacquering it. They've been cleaning the song for 5 years before Madame Angelique heard it the first time. So by the time she heard it, the amount of Stonebwoy that's already in that production and in that song, you can't take it away from him. And I think that translated everywhere. He brought Davido to Ghana.
And for me, for a challenge that was presented to him, Stonebwoy, is after creating the Longa Junction album, and then having to now try and outdo that album, because that album was very classic, classic,
Junction, yeah.
With let's move on. So, still on tone of music for me. So, like I said, I think Afrofusion or an Afrobeat album. Now the whole Afrobeat, I've been confused exactly what it is because if you use horns, without no kicks,
Jay, but I don't think we can classify it as an Afrobeat
No, it's not
album.
an Afrobeat album. It's an Afrofusion.
No, it has so many things
fusion.
in
The
there.
fusion
to just
elements are
lock
too
it
many.
at Afrobeat.
It's not Afrobeat.
No, it's a fusion,
Semo.
honestly, because
Afrofusion.
no, it just has too many
So that means that
other genres in
so
there.
that means that he didn't do Afrobeat on this album.
No, that means Afrofusion means there's an Afrobeat track.
So he did Afrobeat.
There.
And there's an Afro dancehall track. There's an Afro reggae track. There's an Afro pop or dance
Amapiano
track.
Afro piano.
So that is
Sarkodie's Jam is also an Afrofusion album.
no,
No.
that's Afrobeat.
That's Afrobeat.
That's Afrobeat.
Yes,
Straight.
Straight.
straight up.
Hey.
Where's the fusion?
It's Afrobeat.
They're confused. So the guy said he went to. The guy
So-
sat in here where
Which
you were
guy?
sitting, and he said he went to.
Which guy?
Sarkodie.
He went to this place.
South Africa.
No. He went to the top Sky Bar. Is this Sky Bar?
Sky Bar, yeah.
I thought he said. I heard something else.
Sky
Sorry.
Bar, yeah.
He went to Sky Bar and then he was loving the Amapiano vibes.
Yeah.
That were being played that day. So he
Amapiano
wanted to,
is seen as Afrobeat. In fact, they want to deem it as Afrobeat, even though it's not.
But it is not. It's
Amapiano.
Amapiano.
Amapiano is
It's a genre on its own.
Yeah, so it's not Afrobeat.
It's not Afrobeat.
So Sarkodie's
but-
album, which comes off with that a lot, is also an Afrofusion or Afro.
No, Sarkodie said.
Sarkodie's
scene of
album
the
is an
is an
Afrobeat album, but it has
Amapiano
a
beat was
few
different from-
Amapiano, one
but this guy's
Amapiano jam on it.
It's
a
a fusion.
fusion.
Afrofusion.
Yeah, because
Fusion,
each single track has a mix. There's that base of Afro, but each one has a mix element. on it.
Has something that is
Because you
standing
have,
out.
Oh, no, we don't
seriously, you have
confuse.
reggae, you have dancehall, you
not-
have
Hey.
conscious music, you
Amapiano.
have.
Yeah, that's what that's what I
what you
was
call it.
trying to break down with all of the songs. It's not the
It's a
same.
lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the message of the album. What do you take from it?
Message.
Maturity.
I think the message speaks more, like Lenny said, it speaks more to the personality of Stonebwoy.
The message is Stonebwoy.
Than actually having a message. It's not a message album. It's not a message album. It's not this album is meant to uplift and empower my brothers.
Not at all.
No, it's not a themed album. It's an album that shows the growth of the artist, the diversity, the versatility, and the fact that he's very conscious about world impact now. The features he has literally opens up a very big brand to an even bigger audience now. Big names on there. Shaggy, right? Angelique, Stormzy, Davido. These are big names. And the idea to have this much firepower on an album tells you the conscious reach and expansion that Stonebwoy wants for his brand. You would think Stonebwoy is huge, he's big enough, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, look, if we are here hyping the Angelique Kidjo song, right, Manodzi, can you imagine what's going on with Angelique Kidjo's core fans? Those who have been in love with her for, God knows, the last 25 years, 30 years. Do you know how many of them are now stumbling onto Stonebwoy and falling in love with Stonebwoy off of that leverage? Do you get what I'm saying?
Hard.
How many Shaggy fans? Because he even mentioned that Shaggy was on tour in Australia, I think, right? When he reached out, performing there. How many people love Shaggy and don't know Stonebwoy? So, I mean, the fact that he's been able to connect all these dots in all these very separate places, the gap between Shaggy and Angelique Kidjo is miles. It's totally two different worlds. But guess what? The bridge now is Stonebwoy. And for me, that's what I got from the album, that he's putting the work in there to that international artist title. No? It's like, you are no longer surprised when you hear Justin Bieber featuring anybody, because he's an international artist. He can go where he likes. When Beyonce features anybody, you are not surprised because she's an international artist. There's a thing that we have, especially in Ghana and in Africa, where artists get boxed in easily. Right? Get boxed in. This is what he does. This is the space he plays, case closed. Stonebwoy, I believe, with this Fifth Dimension album, has exactly like Fifth Dimension, has opened up a new dimension to this and extended his reach. So that's the message I got.
Olele, what about you?
Well, like I said, the tone is neither experimental or no. It's in fact it could be all of them, because in the same album you hear Stonebwoy trying to experiment on new sounds. In the same album, there's definitely a couple of messages. There are messages to African youth. There are messages to a young man in love, or a young sister in love. There are messages there is a message about the African system. Which is something that Stonebwoy is very passionate about. Not too long ago, we were talking about the song he did about Galamsey. Stonebwoy made sure that he had to remind people that, bro, I'm having fun on this album, but I still have to remind you about what's going on in Africa and a system that constantly oppresses us, even though our colonizers have moved on from, years of slavery, and we are still being neo-colonized in a way by some of our actions from our leaders. So, like Cyril said, it gave him the opportunity to really touch on various subjects and still maintain Stonebwoy as who he is. What I have noticed is, and I said this in my tweet the last time, that when you listen to episodes of Mama, and you listen to Anglonga Junction. That's right?
Yeah,
Anglonga Junction. And you listen to this album, you notice that the previous album, which was Anglonga Junction, was a bridge between episodes of Mama to what you may call it, Fifth Dimension.
Yeah.
Because episodes of Mama was what really made us pay attention to Stonebwoy. That was a body of work that really solidified the Stonebwoy brand in our hearts. Now, Anglonga Junction became that second look of what he could do, or the other genres he could tap into. Fifth Dimension now becomes, you've heard both sides of me, now this is where I'm going.
And in addition to that, for me, it's after hearing both sides, I'm even reaching a much more global market and telling them of my culture, my tradition,
exactly.
by drawing what you do and a bit of what I do as well, So that's why I said I felt like I'm feeling a certain
monotony.
Yes, Stonebwoy. I'm feeling a certain Stonebwoy.
Then that's
in this.
good though, because
that's what I'm saying. Like,
because then good. It doesn't take away from the Stonebwoy we all know. From Rat Race to Pull Up to, we still see elements of the Stone. Because I remember when Sark came here, we were talking about the Jams album. He did mention that there were some songs he knows that his core fans may not like, right? But he had to still do it anyways, but he had to put in the track there to remind people that I'm still Sack. It's the same thing with Stonebwoy. And I realized that even with Shatawale did the same thing. As for Shatawale, the Mali album, it was a strictly dancehall album, so you don't even have a lot to say about that. But for these two artists that we mentioned, you realize that in every point of their transition...
No, there's a lot to say about that.
Well, we spent a whole day talking about Mali album.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot to talk about. I just had to say it.
Hey, official or non-official PRO. Yeah. Anyways, so I think the tone is as direct as it could be. And
I mean, kudos to Stonebwoy on this project as well. We have Gerard, who happens to also be a publicist for Stonebwoy, on the line as well. Join us for a quick conversation. It's been a few hours about 100 hours into the release of the song already, and want to jump into to check the statistics and how well it's doing, if I can say. G, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Fully. Everything is cool, boss. Everything is super. We are excited. I mean,
I can tell.
For this project to come out now and everyone enjoying it, it's actually a joy for us, because we've been working on this for over 3 years now, and then it's just fulfilling to have this project out. Like, we cannot be soaking the song on our own, like in our houses, like back-to-back listening sessions, corrections, additions, subtractions, and a whole lot of things with different kind of resource personnel, industry executives, and a whole lot more. So for this album to come out now, honestly, it's a big win for us, and we are happy. I'm honestly happy.
Okay, let's even amplify this excitement a bit more. What homework I'll be giving you to do for us in the course of the month? We do a comparison between the couple of hours release of this album as well as other existing albums from Stonebwoy, and then let's see how the reactions have been. But let's now focus on this particular album. After about 100 hours since 28th of April, its release, can you share some stats with us on the numbers, what it's looking like?
Well, very, very impressive numbers. I mean, this is not the time I'll really come and start part or maybe forge numbers for it, because when you go on the internet now, it's very obvious that the works we did prior to the release of the album are actually reflecting, because his pre-listening sessions he held in the various key markets like Amsterdam, UK, and then America, France, and everywhere is actually reflecting on the streams, or on the commercial success of the project now. I mean, just this week, since its release, the album is charting in over 45 countries, key markets, Ghana, number one on Ghana. We have Nigeria, UK, Qatar, Gambia, America, and a whole lot of countries.
It's charting in these countries, right? It's charting in these
charting in 45 countries. It's charting in 45 countries now. As at this morning, number one in Ghana, Chad, and even aside the main projects doing these numbers or charting in these various key markets, some singles of the project are also doing extremely well, especially the Life and Money, which features Stormzy. It's also charting in over 11 countries. Like that's big for us. That's really big for us, and we hope to achieve more and score more numbers in the coming weeks, because we are here to hit the road properly to promote the project.
Well, at the back end, which songs are doing very well in terms of listenership and streams?
Yeah, Stormzy, Life and Money is doing well. The one with the Grammy-winning legendary Angelique Kidjo is also doing well. Tiwa Savage remix is doing well. Let me quickly run that through. I think, African System is also doing very, 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 very well on all DSPs. So this album is something big for us, because it took us a while to work on it. And then the back end, we have Therapy. Forget is also doing well. Secret Lover is also doing extremely well. Far Away is doing extremely well. So as of now, these are the songs that are actually making the numbers, pulling the numbers together now on especially Apple Music, because when you go to the store now, you see that the ones with the stars actually tells you the songs that people are vibing with a whole lot, like more of the time. So Stormzy, Life and Money, Far Away, Therapy, Forget, Secret Lover, then the one with Angelique Kidjo.
Interesting, Gerard. That's fantastic. Thank you very much sharing these insights with us.
And on Spotify, quickly, we are doing over 10 million streams now on Spotify. I mean,
Wow.
the reason this project actually means a lot to us is ever since we started promoting this project, we realized that Stonebwoy's listeners on Spotify also shot up. Initially, it was like 600,000 monthly listeners. Now he's doing over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. The album is also pulling over 20 million streams on Audio Mark too. So,
Wow.
I mean, we are grateful for the support so far. We pray we get more to push the album to where we want it to get to the fifth dimension. So we want to enter into the real fifth dimension with this project.
This might
And
be
thanks very much.
Yeah, Jared, this might be a trade secret to the team, but what kind of strategies have you put in place to be able to reach these overwhelming numbers?
We have more. It should be a secret anyway, but I'll just have to say a few because you know the traditional one will be hitting the road, playing a couple of shows. You know, Stonebwoy canceled the shows because of the album. He wanted his new audience to have a feel of the whole new album. So we had to just put the album on hold, and we had to put the tour on hold, and then release the album before we hit the road again. So we'll be doing that in the coming weeks and months. We'll be hitting the road. Expect tour dates soon, and then we'll be hitting traditional media road too in Ghana in a few weeks to come. So these are just the ones I can share, but the key ones. What we are actually going to do to pull more numbers for this project, honestly, that's for us.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. That's a good one. Wishing you all the best, though, and of course, we are always here to rally support behind Stonebwoy to push this album as well. Thank you very, very much. Truly appreciated.
Yeah, of course. Thanks to everyone who is supporting the album so far. It means a lot to every single one push. Means a lot. I mean, just pushing it once can reach about 1 million people. So we appreciate it and we expect more. We can only do better when we get more.
Yes, thank you very much. I like that the team. He says we can only do better when we get more. Thank you very much. And that's Gerald coming out from his team as well. So guys, back in the studio, let's continue our convo before we have a few minutes left. Let's touch on the production quality. I mean, that one top notch. It's not even about
Short conversation.
It was wow. It's every single track has the same level.
Yeah.
That one, because I paid critical attention to it. Same level. The vocals, no place is bleeding, no place is hitting a red.
It's just like we've discussed in our audio session masterclasses that we've had, the need to outsource. So he had sessions with each individual producer. Each producer, because they knew their own work, did a first mix, final mix. That final mix, which is where most people start to upload, then got sent to an independent party who was not at any of the sessions
At all.
and gets to criticize the mix from a purely professional standpoint and fix everything to ensure that 17 tracks sound consistent, good, authentic, high fidelity audio. And then you have a wonderful master. So, I mean, it's a lesson for everybody. Get your guys to work on it, get them to do their mixes, but send your masters to where the work needs to be done. If you want this kind of consistency, play an album at full volume from track 1 to track 17 and never touch the dial because the bass chow on track 4 or the treble de blast on track 17. No. This was not the case.
I think that's what made the transition of the songs
so smooth
and seamless.
Yeah, you see, like I was saying yesterday, like the songs flow into each other.
Yeah.
Like it's
I think it strikes a perfect balance, because it's 17 songs. But when you are listening to it, you don't even feel that you are.
It sounds the same.
You don't even feel you are in that deep. So I will just pick up the team for that.
So it wasn't bad.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, now that I understand what you mean.
Flow through the song. It sounded like.
But I don't think monotony is what you're looking for, though. I don't think the word.
Take you through various emotions.
I don't think the word you're looking for is monotony. I can't think of a word.
The word I'm looking for. If you don't go find them,
but yeah, I think it's for us. It's a full circle moment.
The word he's looking for is seamless.
I think the
it's not
seamless.
Seamless is. I mean, that's like I know. Cyril, you lost on it. I said. look at what I'm saying. You see, me, I'm a deep guy.
Maybe it take us a while to get it.
Yeah. And you know,
It's
my
seamless.
agenda, sir,
You
my
know- you know
agenda,
what? You
my
know what?
agenda.
See, we
when
start the morning
it,
show, I
it
say
takes you
take the
guys
pill
years
before we
before you
come
come
here.
and reach like this high life agenda. Let me tell you, this album may be high life album. You wait.
Okay.
I just want to say that it's
You
a
wait.
full circle moment for us because we've always talked about the possibility of getting it right. We've always talked about, hey, can we ever get it right? And I think we've had, or we can say this is a template to start with when we are looking for the quality in terms of the production, the sound. I mean, look, your beat may be great. Look at how sweet and, refreshing the Manodzi production is. Imagine it wasn't mixed properly. You'd have taken out the whole experience. But people are literally being very emotional. Hard guys are literally shedding tears.
Yeah.
Because when they listen to the song with their headphones or their speakers, they feel like they owe God a message. They owe God a prayer. I had to ask Lenny what was the meaning of the language, or what were they saying? And I was talking about you just gotta keep going. Is that what he said?
I go day top.
Yeah, you go day top, just gotta keep going. And I didn't understand the lyric.
Is it
Manodzi.
Manodzi. I didn't understand the
I'll
lyrics.
keep at it,
I
literally.
didn't understand the lyrics, but here am I, jamming to the song. And that's how we feel about some of our cousins who do the same music in different languages. Even though they are, an introduction of an English element here and there, the Manodzi song is a perfect example of the fact that you can actually do a song in your local dialect and it will still be good and a greater export.
Yeah, language
so it is
barrier
possible.
breaker.
It's how you, like he said, it's
Now,
how you
am I even
arrange
allowed
it.
to say that also the strategic feature with Angelique Kidjo and using the local language also really helps you to appreciate it a bit more?
Oh yes,
Because
yes.
it's like yes, Stonebwoy already we know him he was singing in ever any day, but it's like he even validated more, tells you that look, let us appreciate what we have. Art's a legend who even does it.
I think he mentioned when he came here that it was a surprise to him that Angelique Kidjo sang in Ewe as well.
Yeah,
I think he did.
yeah,
He made
yeah.
mention of that.
Even
She sang
myself,
beautifully.
when I heard and I put it out, I'm told Angelique Kidjo speaks fluent ever. I think she's from Benin, so it works in that. But there was a gentleman from Ho on our space who said that the Manodzi song is speaking seriously in the Volta region, and that's a plus because we've also talked about the fact that some of our songs stay just here. The stages in Accra, maybe Kumasi, but Volta region have gotten a fair share.
No, but which is only right because it's an authentically Ewe song.
Yeah, and
So
we would love to
it's
see
only
more
right
of that because
it would do
Edem
that.
in his prime was giving us that. Camido also got that for the. I'm yet to hear or see something for the North as well. I think it's about time, our artists from where they
Our girls.
which girls?
I'll explain to you why. You see, our beautiful Ghanaian women are the ones that can turn this around for us because they're able to. Hey, if you see a girl
How?
singing, I see what you and things. I don't want to mention that.
Oh,
names.
please, Jay, don't do that. Don't put it on.
Our women
What
can
have-
be able to change it.
Our men can also do
I did not say that the girls are. I said our women can change it for us.
No, I'm look
Because boys
for
will
a
follow
bigger
you,
and
right?
greater Ghana agenda. If you're an artist and you hail from these cities or these towns,
you know
be
why I like
proud
Asiwaju?
to sing. Is that
You know why I like that song?
why?
AC.
Asiwaju.
Yeah.
So we need more female artists or
sang
female girls. I say
Hey.
female girls.
Charlie.
More girls. Oh no. Don't worry. No,
my
we are in
days.
modern times.
Relax.
Female girls is correct. Don't worry. In 2023,
Or if
female
you
girls.
look at it deeply,
Yes,
yeah.
female girls is correct. Let's continue. Olele, when you are done. When you are done, deflate.
Charlie, hear me.
So the male guys and the female girls. The female girls should sing more.
Anyways, Charlie. So
Jay.
shout outs to.
No, I'm just saying
shout outs
that,
to
like,
the Volturians.
no, that's just from just a sense of humor thing. I'm just saying.
Music videos, though.
like
I'm
that.
waiting for music
It
videos.
drives. Yeah, that's also going to be another thing for us. to
Manodzi
have a
is
look
coming
at
out
because
soon. That I
That'll
know.
be the first video
Different
he'll
source.
release?
Yeah, you heard it
Okay.
first. Manodzi
That's a
will come
big
out soon.
agenda song.
Yes.
Yeah.
That song is the business.
We have to make it-
Yeah, I feel like that song, if there's any song that's going to make it to the Grammys or for a Grammy nomination, is going
gotta
to
be
be
that
Manodzi. Also because of Angelique Kidjo on it as
Jay,
a
are your
feature.
headphones working?
That song,
I want to
that
make sure you are
song
hearing Lenny.
is going to be it for
one?
the Grammy.
But
Manodzi.
you know what?
Manodzi,
I
that's
have been
going to be it.
I'm very like hungry and thirsty about this Grammy conversation. But when I heard the album, I was like, you know what?
Don't worry, there's nothing to stress about.
I don't even care if it doesn't. This is like a timeless classic album, regardless of whatever he does.
Hey.
No, but
no,
wait, holele. But
to be fair, we should be proud that as a Ghanaian we have a product like this.
No, you see that would be for you, Olele, right. But for the artist, I think he's put in enough to want it to be nominated. Because he's done. See, we've seen him do how many
we've gone off features.
Parties and all of that. I think he has
to go to the fans now. We're just about 8 minutes left. Let's go to the fans. I'm sure if we don't do the fans, my brother
Ricky will burn this place down.
No, he won't burn. He will see what he will do. But we also put out a Zoom link for the fans to also jump in to get a quick review. And I've got quite a number of handsome-looking gentlemen here on the screens with us. Guys, good morning. How are you all doing?
Good morning. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Morning,
Beam, y'all be Beam fans, eh?
Yeah, man, entirely.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
All right. Dude number 4, if you want to flip your camera for us so that we see the other way around before you fall out. But let me start off with, if you can just do a quick introduction, starting from top left. Gentleman in the white, what's your name?
Reginald Dama.
Okay, can't seem to hear you.
Hello,
if you
can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm Reginald. I'm a music analyst. I'm avid music listener, music review expert, and everything that has to do with music. I'm there.
Okay, so real quickly, because I've got 5 minutes left, what's your general assessment on the album?
Okay, so personally, I like the album, but I don't think that based off of the PR that went into this album, the expectations were very high, and for me, I had high expectations for the album. So because of that and what I've heard so far, it's 17 songs, but I can bet on one hand and say that it's about 5 songs that are exceptional on this album. The rest of the songs, in my humble opinion, I feel like they should have been released as singles and what's not, because they don't really meet the criteria for album songs. Songs that should
interesting.
Be on album.
Interesting. Why do you say they don't meet? If I can just get your understanding on what you just said, why do you feel like they don't meet? Is it that?
Okay.
Is it just personal interest in the kind of song, the lyrics, the tone, the tunes?
Okay, so personally, these are personal opinions. I feel like a song like Therapy, the remix, right? The remix that had Oxlade and Tiwa Savage on. I feel like it wasn't necessary because Therapy is already a classic record. This is a song where you perform and you can have an intimate session with your fans and then have them sing along and all of that. It's already a classic. Like you alone being on the song is a classic. But you having Oxlade and Tiwa Savage on, to me, doesn't do it for me. I feel like he should have just left the song untouched, just left it as it was. But songs like My Sound featuring Shaggy, Manodzi, which is a very, very classic record. I like Shaggy's song as well. I also like Far Away and Secret Lover and Forget. These are my records on the album.
Definitely, my brother. Thank you. Let me move on to the next in the hoodie. If you want to share with us a snow cap or Nee, I'm told.
Yeah.
Nee, talk to us as well. Moses. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Moses Sayi. Yeah, I'm a student and an average music consumer. I just follow Ghanaian music.
Okay.
But personally, I'm a Sarkodie fan. But I like Stonebwoy and I listen to his songs because he's a Ghanaian and then he's promoting our culture. So
very well.
Yeah.
So talk to us now. Your impressions on the album.
Well, I don't really have much to say about the album, but it's a good album because as Reginald said, we're all having high expectations for the album. The promotion was very like very, very, very serious. And like he really promoted the songs. So like we're expecting something like, I don't want to say a classic or a top class album because it's a good album. So, but I just have my favorites on there. So I don't really have like much to say about it, but it's a good album, like in general.
I'm going to come back to you in a bit. Let's move on. Next person, down left. In the yellow. There was an artist called King
Can
Yellow.
you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, my name is Spencer. I'm a student as well.
Okay. All right, talk to us.
Yeah, I'm an alien, but I love Stonebwoy as well.
Okay.
So I think the album is great. I think it's a mixture of different genres like Afrobeats, dancehall, amapiano. I saw some amapiano there. So I think it's a great album in general.
Okay.
I know I've spoken to some friends and they were expecting, I don't know what they were expecting, but they had high expectations from the album. But in my opinion, I think it's a nice album. I enjoy it. So yeah, I have a couple of favorite songs in there. So I think it's a good album.
Awesome. Thank you, Spencer. Let's move on to the last person here. I'll come back to you, Spencer. Last person here, down right corner. The man in the red in the down right corner in the red t-shirt.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
So personally,
your name, please.
I also had like high expectations. Sorry, my name is Eugene. I'm a motion graphics designer and a student as well. I personally had high hopes for the album because of the hype that came with it. I actually think this is the project that Stonebwoy has been able to be more versatile because he explored a lot of genres and then he was able to like infuse a lot more into his style. I actually think it was all over the place as well because of how they hyped the album. I was thinking it was going to be an album that has its own identity where like if you hear 2 or 3 songs, you're going to be able to identify that all of these songs are from this particular album, like the Fifth Dimension. But all of them like sounded like they're all over the place. So you could hear a random song on the album and you wouldn't even know it belongs to this kind of album. So that's the only issue I have with it. However, I think he's been able to grow as an artist because from his very first album, he liked to infuse his like roots into the things that are currently happening around him or they were happening around him. And so I think he's been able to do that very well. And I also think because of the new record label he joined, this is actually like a new beginning for him. And I think he's going to be a better artist than we've seen previously because he struggled like as an independent artist, even though he joined like a label here and there. But his new like deal with Sony is going to make him a better artist in my opinion. So I think all of us should just be ready for Stonebwoy. This is just a beginning. All of your thoughts and opinions are just very good, but I think there's more room to be a better artist. So I mean, it's not going to be this is not going to be like the album that's going to take us to the Grammys or whatever, but I strongly believe that it's going to be better than we've seen before. So yeah, that's my honest opinion.
Well, the part I pick from you that I can connect with the fact that jumping on a record label, on a global record label, definitely their inputs as well is a new beginning for him, a new direction as well. Hitting a bigger market. So we should expect more from Stonebwoy. All right, but before I let you guys go, let me come back to number one. So I'm sorry I missed the name. Top left corner, Reginald. So let's do a quick rating. 1 to 3, you say average. 4 to 6, you say good. 7 to 9, you say great, and 10 is excellent.
Okay, 4 to 6.
A 4 to 6, so that's good for you, yeah?
Yeah, I rated 4 to 6.
Okay.
It's good. It's not. I was expecting it to be excellent, exceptional, but it's just good.
Okay. All right. Let me move on to is it Ni? Moses, yes. 1 to 3 average, 4 to 6 good, 7 to 9 great, and 10 excellent.
4 to 6.
Okay. Let's move on. Spencer.
I'd say 4 to 6. I'm leaning towards 7, but 4 to 6 is okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Let me come to the last person. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think 4 to 6 for me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Eugene, 4 to 6 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. The consumers have spoken, and we've heard from them as well. Thank you very much, guys. It's been good having you join us on this brief conversation here as well. We hope to have more of you, do some of these analysis with us.
Like if I ask them how many times they listen to the album. Like if I ask them how many times I listen to the album.
Well,
because you know why I'm saying this. I remember when Blacko released
but I think,
the Villain Never Was.
Finish up. Yeah.
The
Real
kind
quick,
of takes we saw.
Yeah.
When months after, the same people came back to say, "Oh, we have one of the most classic albums in the country." Or in the world.
I think one of the things I've come to learn in our creative journey is, even personally, is that one, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
That's fact.
Number one, and number two, the creative space would always have its critiques.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So clearly, because I also have my
reservations.
my reservations and things about the album, my expectations. But I'll look at it from a different consumer's eye, because of maybe where I'll sit and experience in the business. Somebody will do the same from various angles.
Right.
So maybe from where I sit, I'll appreciate it from the angle of the creativity, whether the song is nice or not. I look at it from various angles. But before we go, real quickly, still we have SA still talking to us. South Africa is calling us. Okay, you're gonna get a once in a lifetime holiday experience. You have to make it to South Africa, because South African tourism extends an invitation for you to explore the country's sunny shores, stunning landscapes, and all you have to do is visit www.southafrica.net to enjoy this. Just go on there, sign up there, and you can win this once in a lifetime experience to visit South Africa and enjoy all these amazing tourist destinations. Before we wrap up, guys, real quickly, Cyril, aside from 10,
I'll give it an 8.
An 8. Lenny?
10.
10.
9.5, and the 0.5 is tax.
Yeah, I also give Stonebwoy an 8 on the album. And on that note of 8, guys, thank you very much. It's been a great conversation here, doing a quick review as well. And also watch out, we'll do same for Jackie later on. I know the Scar Jam is just another song altogether. I'm loving it. And Wolasi, shouts out to Wolasi, also a brand new album released as well. This has been Culture Daily, 7 to 10 a.m. like we do every single day. Back here tomorrow. Enjoy your day.